is your lubrication. And so these two were going to try it. And I
We're the
said,
guinea pigs.
Go eat dogs.
Right, go eat dogs.
Okay, it is 6 o'clock, time to start our meeting. Mr. Willerson, will you do our invocation for us, please?
I thought we already.
That was the other meeting. We get to pray on this one too.
Well, how about that? Father, thank you for what you've given us in Jesus Christ. And your word says that I came that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. Father, we appreciate the ability to laugh and joke and just have a good time. So, as we try to take care of the situation in the county and do the best that we can for kids and for teachers, I ask that you give us wisdom and give us knowledge and help us and strengthen us and be with each family that is represented here tonight, Father. And we'll give you the praise for all you do for us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And Mr. Middleton, will you do the pledges for us?
Sure. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the Georgia flag and to the principles for which it stands, wisdom, justice, moderation, and courage.
Thank you. Items of information. We have a facilities update, Mr. Wallace.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chair, board members, Mr. Raines. To start with the new construction update, I was at Lafayette High School yesterday, late afternoon. The crew was in there working. I'd say we're close to 90% with all the project there. I think we'll be complete within the month. They're trying to be done by the end of June is what they would like to do. So making some good progress in there, and a little easier without as many people in the building, so we're able to get some areas we've been holding off there. New server room, that's at the old LHS 300 building over behind the CO. Pretty much everything that we can do is done. Bob and Jason are moving into that area now. Josh and I helped them move some stuff last week. Pretty close there. We just have to wait till we can take down a server in the system on week of 4. So our goal is to get that transferred from this location to that location, and that'll take a little coordination, but we got a good plan for that and get everything back up and running. And as you know, that's a lot of our systems. So that'll be a little delicate, take a few days, but that's a good week to do it. It's really a slow week for us and for all events and activities in the schools. So good time to do it, and it works out with our timelines. Chat Valley and Lafayette Middle fueling stations. So was also there yesterday, and at the Chat Valley and Lafayette Middle location, all the tanks are installed. Actually signed the state certification today for the one at Chat Valley. And fences up there, working on just some finishing touches there yesterday, and it's almost complete at that site, and then they'll finish the other one, I'd say, within a couple weeks. So we'll have those operational, of course. We've already filled the one at Chattanooga Valley and passed the test for it to be certified, and then we'll be doing that at LMS here in the next few weeks. So I would say a couple weeks, we'll have that one field tested and ready to go. Naomi School-Based Health Center got the walls framed up and some block work that we had to take care of to remove there, and some floor cut out for the install of the bathroom. It's looking really good. They're going to be really, I think, impressed with what kind of space they have to work with there. It's going to be 3 exam rooms, a behavioral mental health space, a waiting room, a bathroom, and a nursing station there in that location. So we'll get a little further along and make sure you guys get some pictures of that so you can see what kind of progress is being made there. Maybe for Monday night I'll try to get y'all some pictures. And then we're just a note about that. We're doing that in-house for cost savings to be able to meet the requirements of the grant. So our guys are working on that this summer. For most of it, we got a couple things we're hiring out, but most of it. Then Rossville Middle School turf field, unprecedented rainfall in the month of May. So we're getting through it. Finally dried out a little bit. We can get some work done. We got some footers poured. I believe curbing and footers for retaining wall and for all your roads and access will be poured this week if the weather holds up. I think we'll have all of that work done. Utilities, we'll be able to get in there and get all that installed and get it to the site. We did pre-wire for lights in case we ever wanted to be able to run lights up there. It's a lot cheaper to do it now than to go back if you ever decide to. So it was the right thing to do. There is some mass rock that we have excavated in the process there that will have to be removed from the site. I think y'all probably remember a couple weeks or maybe last month we did maybe 2 months now, I'm sorry, that we did a change order, deducted change order we received back for about $40,000 for being able to waste some dirt on site and not haul it off. We're probably going to use that money back in removing this rock. It's easier to waste the dirt and be able to use it than it is this rock. There's not a real good use for it. So we're expecting a change order and maybe by Monday for you guys to look at for you to know how much money we're talking about to haul that rock off the site. But as you know, we are blessed with a lot of rock here in this county, and we found some there too. So that's coming. Just want to give you a heads up. Rock Springs Elementary renovation. I went by there as well in the last couple of days, and it's you gotta tear up to fix it up. So I wouldn't recommend looking in there right at the moment. Might scare some people away, but we will have it back going by the time school starts. Those guys are working hard in there, and they already got the cooling tower replaced and working on got a couple of boilers replaced already. So a lot of the big, equipment's in and getting it hooked up. Pipe fitters are in there working, electricians, HVAC contractors. And this is a capital outlay project, so we'll be getting some money back on that project there at Rock Spring. Appreciate Ms. Gilstrap, Ms. Murphy. They are having to work out of this facility right now, not being their school. We've relocated their custodians. We've lent them out to other places with the understanding they're going to reciprocate when we get to the end and come back and help them. So we've got them spread at 3 different locations with those principals. So I appreciate those principals helping us out too with that. Launch, I would say the demo is about 90% complete and maybe a little more. Project completion around October 25, of course, and this is Georgia College Career Academic Project Grant. This is the mechatronics lab. This is also the culinary lab that they're working on at the GNTC building and in a couple other spaces that we're doing some work in. But that's going to be a really, really neat thing for launch, and I'm excited to see that underway. I know we went through a lot of changing and ideas of how we wanted this to look even before I got here. So I'm excited to get that going. I did give you a handout with a complete list of all the things we got going on this summer. It is an ambitious list. We've got a lot of things underway, a lot of things some of the things are already knocked out, but just want to give you an idea of what we're doing in case you had any questions about something that's going on, or somebody says, hey, they're tearing up my school or my room or my office. It's probably true, but we will get it put back together. Centegix every Tuesday at 2:30. There's an update meeting with the team, our team here, and the team of Centegix, where we go through and see where we're at, so nobody falls behind, nothing drops through the cracks, and that's going well. A lot of infrastructure work now. They've already sent us a lot of equipment, so that's starting to be put in on the back end side, and there'll be some training upcoming. The radio system, I know we mentioned this last week, so we probably are going to have all the infrastructure in place within the month. I feel like that's going to be pretty easy to do. Working with the schools, making sure we get them enough radios for what they need, or to replace the radios they have if they're not able to communicate with the system we have now. It depends on the age of the radio and how they're set up. I told you guys we're going from an analog to a digital system. Some of our equipment has to be upgraded. About 60+%, maybe even close to 70% of our buses are going to have to be upgraded, but some of them will work, and there is going to be some trade-in for some of those that we don't use, so we're working with a company there. Same company we've been dealing with for a lot of years, Alpha Communications. They're great. They take really good care of us, so working with them on that. And again, that'll be paid for through the safety grant, as will Centegix. Activity buses, we're getting those wrapped next week, so they will have Walker Schools logo on them, and if people don't like the design, Mr. Ranks came up with it, and no, I'm just kidding.
Standing behind it, too.
Throwing you under that bus.
Standing behind it, that's right.
I came up with a design, and so we're going to be using these for a lot of different activities. We didn't want to make them, we didn't want to put the school logos on there, the school logo, because, some of these schools are rivals, and, they may need all of them. They're going to have other schools wraps on them. So we just did a more just, a district where it's not connected to a sports team, because you're going to have CTAE, you're going to have fine arts, you're going to have all kind of groups using these. So I think you'll be hopefully excited about just getting those on the road. A lot of training going on. We had some administrators today actually doing the training, principal APs, because they're excited about these, and they feel like to ask other people to go do this training, they need to set the example. So I thought that was kind of cool. And so we're going to hold them to task if we need a driver. So hopefully that's going to be a big shot in the arm for our activities and some groups we struggle to get to and from at different times of the day that interferes with our routes. Sometimes, we just have more than it's possible to get to with the number of drivers we have on the route. So that's going to be helpful. The rekey, so through our safety money that we're getting, we haven't rekeyed in a while, so I felt like it would be good for us to have our own keyway and our own system. So working with a company that I was already familiar with, and we're rekeying a couple buildings right now. We're going to have funds to rekey some more toward the latter end of part of the summer. And when we finish this, so a maintenance person that needs keys to anywhere will have two keys. There'll be an exterior key and an interior key, and we will be able to cut our own keys. We'll have to be dependent on someone else to do that, and they'll be proprietary to us. It'll be really hard to duplicate. So that's important from a safety and security standpoint. Also, just from an internal process standpoint of us having a succinct system in place that we created and that we own right now. We have to send out and get these keys made, and depending on the school and the age, it gets to be a little complicated. So that's going to be nice. We'll get all that done. I look for us to be able to afford to do that through the safety money through the FY26 school year. So this next school year, by the end of it, we should have all of them rekeyed. And then just some general safety or maintenance items that we're doing in summer. Normal pressure washing, we've already taken care of North Lafayette, already taken care of Saddle Ridge. Like to try to do the entrances in the areas that really show up there in those on those facilities. And then some parking lot sweeping. We have our own sweeper on our excavator, or excuse me, our skid steer that we can sweep parking lots on our own now. And so we will be doing that and some more striping in some areas that need to be updated. And it's a busy summer. We got our guys doing a lot. I think Project Search I didn't put on there. I skipped. I just thought of that. We're expanding that one down in the basement of LCO to accommodate some more needs that are coming that way. Been working with Ms. Wallen on that. So doing that in-house as well. And as you can see on that list, got a lot going on. But I just want to give a shout out to the guys in our department, all of them, and the ladies. It takes a lot. You see this stuff on there, but what you don't see is the payout process, the bid process, the advertising, all the things that go in to get to that project, and it takes a lot of people. And while I'm the one you see telling you about this every day, I'm certainly not the one carrying out all the work. And so I just appreciate the team. They've been great to work with, and we got a great thing going, and really appreciate all the hard work. Summer's the time we get busy and get some work done, so not a lot of vacations it's when we can get, some things done in the school. So kudos to them, and I'll entertain any questions or any clarifications I can give to you guys on that update.
Anyone? I don't think we have any questions, but we do want to tell you, Mr. Wallace, I know this is your last meeting with us. I know you've got training next week, but how much this board really appreciates you and how much we have really enjoyed working with you. And we're going to miss you, and you've always got a home here in Walker County.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's a great place. Called the leadership team last week in this very room. You don't take for granted what you have. It's not like this everywhere, and y'all should be proud of that. Starts at the top, starts with leadership and the support of the board and the support of the community. But 1,400 employees that come here every day to make it about the kids, and that's what is put first here, and that's what it should be. That's what we should be doing. But it's not the family kind of environment everywhere like it is here, and y'all should be proud of that. So thanks for welcoming me and having me here. I'll keep in touch and keep tabs on Walker County, because it's got a place always for me in my heart too. So thank you very much.
Well, tell them to be good to you. We're watching.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, let me say this as a new board member coming aboard. I'm not hardly knowing anybody in the county or anything, but you were one of the ones that made me feel welcome. You were willing to meet with me
Sure.
and sit down and go over maybe some of the concerns that I had. And for a new person coming aboard, that means a lot. And I appreciate that.
Very well. Thank you.
Hey, real quick, I appreciate you answering the phone whenever I call. Again, I appreciate everything you've done for us.
Sure. Thank you.
Financial review, Ms. Kelly?
Thank you. The financial report for the month ending April 30th, 2025, we had received total revenue of $98.3 million. Total expenditures were $80.2 million. The unassigned fund balance was $51.282. Outstanding encumbrances or open purchase orders were $1.2 million. We had expended $7.2 million in federal funds, and the 2017 SPLOST fund balance is now zero. The 2021 SPLOST fund balance was $3 million, and the debt service fund balance was $5.3 million. SPLOST receipts through April 30th are $6.9 million. Does anyone have any questions on the financial report?
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
And just so you know, for finance, you guys had asked some very specific questions, and so Rachel and Angela went back and reworked. So the budget that you're looking at tonight, the tentative budget, it included all of the things we talked about in the presentation. It also included the $3.03, whatever that was, to get the base $20 base pay for the drivers. Their non-certificated step. We had reductions of about $1.3 million. That included Sparrow, $1 million, 1.1 in health insurance coverage, and then $200,000 in workers' comp. And I know there was a question of how do we reduce health insurance? Well, we try to budget for the number of people we think that are going to take it. And so we just reduce that down a little bit. Hopefully we don't have to go back and revisit that. And then the reduction in workers' comp is we weren't sure what that total was going to be last year, and so we projected a number, so we were able to get closer to a real number. So that was about $1.3 million. So just wanted to make sure y'all knew that was in there, and what you're looking at as a tentative budget as well, and appreciate their work on getting that together for us.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions? Okay, curriculum?
So Robin's waiting on the food, but I know she gave you a copy of her update. You have that. And you also have some of the things that Zach had sent us. It was really probably the same about what Mr. Wallace just reported with the renovations that are currently happening at launch. So unless you have any questions for either one of those, unless Robin has something very, very specific she wants to cover, you guys, if you have questions, you can ask her now, or if we want to go through I know we were trying to get closer to having some extra time tonight, so.
Any questions? Okay. And that was launch also?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that behind curriculum? Is that what it is?
It is, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions, anyone? Okay, Mr. Raines, superintendent report?
So the only things that I have on there is you guys had mentioned revisiting policy BCBI, public participation in board meetings. So I think the two that you're most interested in would be section 3, number 5. If you remember, let me back up. We just added a section of definitions that was required by law based on a federal lawsuit. So we just had gone through that about 2 months ago, and you guys approved that. This would be under section 3, procedure for addressing the board. Number 5, each concerned citizen or employee whose name is placed on the agenda will be given 5 minutes to make their comments. That's the first one. There was some discussion, I think, via email about maybe moving that to a length of more time, which would affect number 11, which is public participation will be limited to no more than 5 speakers per regular monthly meeting. So if you increase the time, 5 minutes right now is, if 5 people speak, it's 25 minutes for public participation. If you increase the time, you might want to at least consider reducing the number of folks that are going to be speaking because you're going to extend your time period. So I know that was that was mentioned a couple of times. I don't know if that's something you want to have continued discussion about, or that would be a minimal change. Mr. Womack is not here. He'll be here on Monday. He wasn't in favor of, and I'm speaking for him, but he wasn't in favor for any changes to it, but that would be up to the board, so he would be definitely willing to listen to that. So I don't know if that's a conversation you want to have Monday night, or if you want to continue that tonight.
The only thing I was thinking from my end is 5 minutes is a very short time. I mean, some folks would have to get a point across. They may need a little bit longer time to do that. And I think whatever the policy is, we need to obviously stick to that. I would have no problem extending it to 10 minutes.
I will tell you this, Kevin, and I'll do the board, controls this, but 5 minutes seems like it's not a long time, but it is a long time. And the extra minute that Mr. Caruth gave a speaker one time was a long minute because it was directed directly at me. And so 6 minutes of listening to that, even though the board can't respond, it is a long time. So 10 minutes is, you'd be limited at that point to 2 people addressing the board potentially, because that would put you at 20 minutes. You're at 25 now.
Is there a policy or guidance as far as the overall length of the public participation segment?
There's not, and it, again, if you remember, we were involved in a federal lawsuit where there was only one component missing, and it said that the superintendent had this unbridled amount of time that he could set up the initial meeting. It used to be you had to meet with the superintendent first.
Right.
And if you remember that, I actually set that meeting less than 24 hours after being notified. I don't know what unbridled was about that, but so we had to make those changes based on mediation, and so we did. And so then this change came after another lawsuit that hit. So I think, if I'm speaking for Mr. Womack, I think he's a little gun shy about changes that we make in it and what that might do to us. So I don't know if there's a code section that says public participation can be 30 minutes or it can be 45. I don't know if there's something that specifies that at all.
Travis, I think you had some interest in this one as well. Did you want to wait till next week, think about it, or?
I'm for whatever the majority says. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, people talk, and I think 5 minutes is sufficient amount of time. But I was actually talking about that with Rachel and about the county commission meetings. They're marathons, right? So they're not limited to five folks talking. So if everybody in the room wants to stand up and talk for 5 minutes, more power to them. But it's just one of those things. I think that personally, if a high school kid wants to stand up, I don't care if it's 10 of them, they ought to have the opportunity. Now, public, I'm okay with limiting to 5. But if there's 10, 15 high school kids that something's on their mind that they want to talk about, I'm for listening to them, because that's what we're here for. It's those kids. I mean, what's the chances of a middle schooler or an elementary school kid getting up and talking? But as these kids get older, we don't need to shush them. I just don't think, and you know, that's just my opinion. I just think it's important that we want these high school kids, or these kids in general that's in the system, to know that we're going to listen to them, and we're not going to tell them, no, you can't speak, because, you know, all five of you are talking about the same thing. Just let them talk. I mean, I think we owe it to those kids because, again, if they got enough guts to stand up and speak, more power to them. That's just my opinion. Now, the public, I'm not. I mean, we shut it down to 5 folks in a meeting. I'm okay with that. And 5 minutes is a long time. I've got up, spoken, and made it about 3.5. So yeah.
So keep this in mind too. Commissioner meetings are public meetings. Board meetings are not public meetings. They're meetings of the board. There's a completely different definition. So we control,
Sure.
even though that would require you to change number 6, which is what you just said, where concerned citizens wish to address the same topic. You have to choose a spokesperson. If you could change, you could add to that. If it's students, you could let as many that are there that want to speak. So that is an option. So, and I think Ron would agree that that's an option. But it is different when you're talking about, so there's not a time limit on a public meeting. If they open up for public participation and everybody wants to talk, they get their 5 minutes. Whereas in a board meeting, your core business is educating students. And so you have to limit that amount of time. To Kevin's question, I don't know if there's a code section that gives you a time or not. I truly don't. Yeah.
I don't think there is, only because I think that in some of our training, I think they had issues with public participation all the way across the state.
Yeah.
They were trying to make it more uniform because everybody was getting into some legal issues with it. And I would say that's probably where Ron was getting that from.
Maybe so. Yeah.
And I guess where I'm coming from is, whether it be students, community in general, staff, I just want to make sure that folks have ample opportunity to express, concerns, praise. And I've seen just the few public participations we've had, I've seen folks, singing the praises of, staff and what's happening. I've seen others where there's concerns about an issue. I just want to make sure that folks have an opportunity to express, and us to be able to, for them not to be just rushed, and to be able to do that. And again, folks have, I've not seen the situation where we've had to cut somebody's time and say that's it. And 5 minutes may work. I just want to make sure that folks have that opportunity if they need that time. And to sit here and say 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 5 minutes. It's kind of arbitrary in that, but I just want to make sure folks have that time, and that's what I'm trying to express. And I don't know what that magic number would be.
This may be something we want to talk about with Ron next week, and you'll be there, because even if you're not there, you'll be there.
Right.
But I'll tell you, the ones that need more than 5 minutes are the ones that can go on and on and on. So I don't think you'll be able to kind of limit that.
Again, the whatever needs to be addressed, I just want to make sure that folks have that ample ability to do that, and for us to hear either the good, the bad, or the ugly, whatever we need to hear.
Okay.
Spring well check, I gave you a copy of the results up through, I guess that would be yesterday, and so I printed that off for you. I also have that electronically, so I can make sure you have that link as well. And then the last thing that I just wanted to give opportunity.
Can I ask a question on
Sure.
that? Is there a way to sort this, and I know these questions are all countywide, is there a way to sort that by school?
I think there is a Survey Monkey, isn't it? To sort things by school.
You would sort it, which survey is this?
This is the well check survey.
Yes, you would
Okay.
have to keep it together, and then I think put it into Excel. I think you can do it in Excel spreadsheet.
Okay. All right, I'll look at it and see if we can do it that way.
All right, thank you.
I just wanted to give opportunity to Ms. Harden or Dr. Willerson if they wanted to say anything about GSBA and the summer conference. And Dr. Willerson represented us at the delegate assembly, even though he stole the voting paddle. And we're probably going to get charged for it. He brought it back with him. But,
Well, they gave it to me, I'm taking it home.
it was a frisbee. That's what they used, a yellow frisbee.
Hey, and they don't know that I'm a collector, I collect everything.
We saw that bill, you know?
Yeah, right. That's frisbee. Inexpensive.
It was a very good conference. We had two great speakers. The last speaker had several sayings that Dr. Willerson and I took to heart. I don't have verbatim. I was going to get that written down, but one of them was managing being a rotary phone in an iPhone world. Talking about you've got to be willing to change because we're not in a rotary phone days anymore. Another thing they said, and you may have it wrote down word by word, was about success. Not, it doesn't matter who takes the credit. That's, you have that written down. But he had been a superintendent and a principal. He was talking about the social media. He was talking about kids today are different than the kids they were as far as having social media, having, communication and so forth. And he also brought up another good point, was that now there's so many opportunities for kids. They don't really have to finish school. They can go out and get high-paying things if they're going to media or they go into things like that. And you've got to give them the want to graduate. You want to give them. You don't want to push them on the test. You want to talk with them and let them see the benefits of taking the test. He said he never knew of anybody that was going to say, I can't wait till April because I'm going to take that test and I'm going to pass it and I'm going to get that date. Because the kids don't think of it that way. But it was really good. And then the other speaker was about attitude. You can take your sour situation and make it into something good. And he said that somebody took him and gave him a kick in the attitude. And now he has a brighter light on things. So it was really good. And then there was some good. We enjoyed the high school, the children's participation and everything else. So I'll give it to Dr. Willerson.
Well, I thought it was probably one of the, well, this is probably just the second conference I've been to since I've been on the school board, but it was one of the best I've been to. Narrow it down. I thought it was very good. I thought it was very entertaining. I did like the students that spoke. They were very impressive. I think Willie, his name is Willie, I think he made a statement, life is what you make it, so make it count. I thought that was pretty good. And another one, we've heard this one before. I heard him say that if you don't care about yourself, you can't take care of anyone else. In other words, you got to take care of yourself in order to be able to do that. And I thought this was pretty good. He said it's amazing what you can accomplish if you don't care who gets the credit.
That's what I was trying to say.
That was it.
That was
good. And he also made a statement about parents. Talking about the school board, you're replaceable on the school board, but you're not replaceable at home.
Exactly.
So I think the conference as a whole gave us a lot to think about, not only from a school board perspective, but as far as parents and as far as teachers and being involved in the school system, and also being involved at home. And I appreciate being able to go down there. And I'll say this, that Mr. Raines was a perfect host. He took very good care of us. He walked. He would drop us off at the center, and then he'd take the car back, and he'd walk all the way back. He did that to us. He's a very good host. I bragged on him to my wife, by the way. So, since she's a retired teacher from Walker County, she understands. But it was very good.
One of the things that the last speaker reminded us that our clients are the students, that we need to pay attention more to what the students need and make our decisions based on the students more so than anything else. And all of our decisions should be made based on that.
That's all I have.
Review the tentative agenda.
So we'll have our supervisor's report, facilities report, if there's any additional questions or anything that comes up. We'll have 2 individual action items. We'll have the recommendation to Walker County Board of Education approve the financial report for the month ending April 30, 2025. And you'll have a recommendation to the Walker County Board of Education approve the tentative general fund budget for FY 2026 in the amount of $165,925,463 and the associated salary schedules. Then you'll have a variety of consent action, and a lot of these are annuals. These are just contracts that we go through every year, but I'm happy to stop on any of them that you have questions about. Because there's so many, I'll buzz through them pretty quickly. You know, the minutes of previous meetings, which include May 13, 2025, the planning session, May 19, 2025, the regular session, and May 27, 2025, our called budget session. You'll have a services agreement with recommendation that the Walker County Board of Education approve the services agreement with Kimberly Langford for services as Certified Occupational Therapy Assistant, or CODA. You'll have a recommendation that the Walker County Board of Education approve the agreement school contract with Positive Behavior Support Corporation. We've had that in the past as well at several schools. You'll have a recommendation to the Walker County Board of Education approve the contract agreement for Ever Driven Technologies, LLC, Omnia Partners. A lot of these are going to be connected with our special needs department. We'll have a recommendation that the Walker County Board of Education approve the interagency agreements between several local businesses and the Walker County Board of Education. This is for our CBVI classes as they go out to do community work as part of their programming. You'll have a recommendation that the Walker County Board of Education approve the renewal application for ACE, American Insurance Company Student Accident Program for interscholastic sports and activities accident coverage. Again, this is an annual that we do for students that want to take that coverage. You'll have a recommendation that the Walker County Board of Education approve the memorandum of understanding between Cadence Club and Walker County School District. This is a grief support services that's offered from behavioral health and developmental disabilities provider locally. You have a recommendation the Walker County Board of Education approve the memorandum of understanding between 4 Points Incorporated, a nonprofit tax exempt organization in Walker County School District. We've been partnering with 4 Points for a number of years, as well as the recommendation the Walker County Board of Education approve the memorandum of understanding between Family Crisis Center of Walker, Dade, Catoosa, and Chattooga Counties Incorporated, a nonprofit tax exempt organization, and the Walker County School District. You'll have a recommendation the Walker County Board of Education approve the memorandum of understanding between Bridge Health and Walker County School District. Bridge Health is the former Lookout Mountain Community Services name change. You'll have a recommendation the Walker County Board of Education approve the memorandum of understanding between the Sexual Assault Victims Advocacy Center, or SAVAC, and Walker County School District. You have a recommendation the Walker County Board of Education approve the memorandum of understanding between Family Menders and the Walker County School District. A recommendation that the Walker County Board of Education approve the memorandum of understanding between Health Connect America, doing business as Georgia Hope, and the Walker County School District. I have a recommendation to approve the memorandum of agreement and transition plan 2025-2026 between the Family Resource Agency Incorporated, doing business as Family Resource Agency of North Georgia, Head Start, Early Head Start, Pre-K program, and the Walker County Board of Education. I have a recommendation the Walker County Board of Education approve the clinical affiliation agreement between Chattanooga State Community College and the Walker County Board of Education. A recommendation the Walker County Board of Education approve the contract for Launch's Progress Learning subscription in the amount of $5,103. I think this is for 10 classes. We've had this over the last several years. I have a recommendation to approve the memorandum of understanding between Family Resource Agency of North Georgia, Head Start, Early Head Start, Pre-K program, and the Walker County Board of Education. A recommendation of the Walker County Board of Education approve an equipment rental contract with Dealer Impression Products Incorporated for use and maintenance of digital copier equipment at the facilities listed below. This is for Walker Launch College and Career Academy. I have a recommendation that the Walker County Board of Education approve the service contract agreement between Stellar Therapy Services, LLC, and the Walker County Board of Education. A recommendation that the Walker County Board of Education approve the memorandum of agreement and transition plan 2025-2026 between the Family Resource Agency, Inc., DBA Family Resource Agency of North Georgia Head Start Early Head Start Pre-K program and the Walker County Board of Education. It's recommended the Walker County, the contract with Southern A&E LLC be approved by the Walker County Board of Education for the renovation of Walker County Career and College Launch Project. The terms and provisions of this contract and the project being agreed to by and between the Board of Southern A&E LLC and the contract being fully executed. So this is the architect firm contract for the launch project. We have a recommendation the Walker County Board of Education approve the purchase of maps and training for Walker County schools with NWEA. This will be utilized for students in grades 1 through 8 across the district. A recommendation that the Walker County Board of Education approve the contract agreement for Institute for Multisensory Education, or IMSE, comprehensive Orton Gillingham training. Good to see we're continuing the Orton Gillingham training. You'll have a recommendation of the Walker County Board of Education approve the purchase of Imagine Edgenuity for Walker County schools. This is the online software that we use for with our students. We have a recommendation of the Walker County Board of Education to approve the purchase of Securely Safety and Wellness applications. This is the GoGuardian replacement. We had GoGuardian before. This is the new replacement for that. Sorry, I didn't recognize that one right off. You have a recommendation of the Walker County Board of Education to approve the agreement for educational services with Orange Grove Center. A recommendation that the Walker County Board of Education approve the affiliation agreement between the University of Tennessee and Walker County Board of Education. A recommendation that the Walker County Board of Education accept the GEC School Food Services bid for bread awarded to Bimbo Bakery for the school year 2025-2026. A recommendation to accept the GEC Food and Nutrition Services Purchased Food RFP as awarded to Gordon Food Service for the school year 2025-2026. Recommendation to accept the GEC School Food Services bid for disposables and chemicals awarded to American Paper and Twine for the school year 2025-2026. Submission of free and reduced price meal policy and direct certification information. A recommendation the Walker County Board of Education confirm and approve the updates to the school year 2026. We're in year, I'm not sure Michelle's not here. This is the second year of the 5 years of the free lunch and breakfast. Thought so. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. A recommendation that we confirm and approve the school year 2026 free and reduced price meal policy, Georgia Department of Education School Nutrition Program meal supplement for after school care program as presented. A recommendation to award the Walker County GEC School Nutrition RFP for ice cream and frozen desserts to Ice Cream Warehouse. And it lists the number of counties that are tagging onto this bid. There's a number of counties that are part of that consortium. Recommendation the Walker County Board of Education renew the 2025-2026 GEC warewashing safety sanitation system RFP with Sanitec Systems Incorporated of Lakeland, Florida. You can see there's a variety of systems that are tagging on that bid, total of 28 systems. You have a recommendation that the Board of Education accept the GEC School Nutrition West Region RFP renewal for milk and milk products awarded to Mayfield Dairy Farms Incorporated for the school year 2025-2026. You have a recommendation that the Walker County Board of Education approve the Family Connection Grant Contract for FY 2026. This contract will be sent to the board chair for electronic signature through DocuSign. I think that's the last of our, so that's a hefty agenda for us for moving that.
Okay, this Family Connections grant, she's been sending me emails to sign this for a month. Is this what she's wanting me to sign?
I would assume so,
Is it?
yes, ma'am.
I didn't sign it because it's not board approved, and it still won't be for a week. I don't know why she sends that so early.
Yeah, I'm sure it's coming from the state.
It's coming from
Yeah.
Department of Human Services.
It's not Laura Beth.
Yeah, and I think we let Laura Beth know to let them know that the board meeting wasn't until this date, and that's when it would be signed, so, yeah, just,
All right. Okay, new business. I'll start with you, Ms. Harden. Do you have any new business? No. Mr. Willerson?
Is this the situation I just, I got a call this morning from James Nance at Saddle Ridge, and he was talking to me about the aging staff that they have out there and how that they're actually getting short-staffed. They've been cutting their own grass and doing a lot of things. And also said that they're losing, they're going to be losing staff. They got one that's part-time, and they, like I said, he's got their aging staff, and so he was talking to me about possibly increasing the staff out there by one, and so obviously I couldn't make a decision or anything about it. Would bring his concern to the school board for discussion. So there you have it.
Is that all? The only thing, I was going to tell you, Kevin, if you wanted to, we can put off that policy until you get back in July, and that way we can have more
That's
discussion
fine.
about it.
Y'all kind of know my thoughts on it, so I'd say go ahead and do, I'm fine. And if I'm able to virtually be online, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I don't want to hold up the business of the school system
I think it
for
would
being out of town.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be fine because school's not going to start until late. Okay, any new business?
I don't have it.
No. Mr. Middleton?
No, ma'am.
You good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any public participation? No. We do have need for executive session for personnel. We need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? And Ms. Reeds, can we go in that small conference room for executive session? Would that be okay?
sure. Can, you talking about for the evaluation?
Yeah, or for all of it.
Oh, for all of it?
Yeah.
All right, sure.
Would that be okay?
Oh, that's fine.
Mr. Raines, the only thing, that conference room, Rock Spring has moved in there because they're out of their office.
Is there
But-
enough space in this one right here?
Or we could move
we
you
can look at that.
upstairs.
We just need, 6 chairs.
We can move you upstairs. if
Let's
you
look
need
at
to.
it.
Yeah, look
I just
at
know
that.
they brought computers, secretaries, everybody has moved in that room since they're out of their.
I want to ask you something.
Oh, wait, let's get this over.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we are back in motion. We have a recommendation of personnel for certificated, retirement, transfers, non-certificated, and late coaches. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor? We need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second? All those in favor? We adjourn.
Oh, yes.